In February 1994, we got Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and then later on in October 1994, we got Sonic and Knuckles, which came with the lock-on technology so that combining the cartridges together, they would become Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. It's now 2024, and we are quite literally getting the exact equivalent of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, but it's kind of reversed, having the and Knuckles portion come out first and the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 portion come later. And I'm pretty excited about the potential that the show brings to the table, along with a variety of things that it could lead to us seeing in the future when it comes to this kind of media for Sonic the Hedgehog as a whole.
Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than love.
When it was first announced that not only was Knuckles getting his own show for Paramount Plus, but it would be taking place in the Sonic Cinematic Universe, slipping right between the events of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3, along with Idris Elba coming back to voice him, I was pretty ecstatic. I was craving for more content to come from the live-action movies, and this was right up my alley. Along with this news of a Knuckles show, we got a small snippet of what to expect, saying, Knuckles agrees to train Wade as his prodigy and teach him the ways of the Echidna Warriors, which I know a lot of people went from, oh cool, a Knuckles series, yes, to, oh god, who's Wade and why would they do that? Honestly, was a bit shocked when I saw the pushback. It's valid for sure. People would like to have something similar to the likes of Drone Home, the animated short that they did for the second movie, where it focuses on just the Sonic characters alone, and trust me, it'd be great to see more stuff like that. But I will admit, I was a little dumbfounded when I saw a lot of people asking who's Wade. Like, I get he's a human character and all, and the general consensus of human characters are bad and shouldn't be in Sonic, but honestly, I can relate. When Zavik came back in Forces, my reaction was literally they brought the red thing back, which is really funny thinking back on that now. Still hate Zavik though. But we'll save the hate for Zavik another day. You'll have to wait for my slander whenever I muster up the strength to talk bad about him, which honestly could be in any of my live streams. Moving on.
They call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles.
This video is just sort of to serve the same purpose as the previous one I did for anticipating the next big movie, but I wanted to throw in some of my thoughts and opinions. Not like they're all that much of anything, just really wanted to chip in. With the series being focused on Knuckles and Wade, I actually find this to be a pretty fun matchup. Knuckles and Wade are very similar in terms of personality, but also at the same time they are kind of the opposite. Example, Knuckles most certainly doesn't know his way around Earth, always questioning everything he comes across and being very fond of the new territory, not understanding certain things and, you know, all that. Whereas Wade is Wade? I don't really have a good way of describing characters, but Wade is certainly the character I would pair up with Knuckles. It just seems like a whimsical duo that will certainly call for some fun times. Also, I just really like the way that Knuckles was written and brought into the movies. I thought it was really good in my opinion. Like, I always thought Knuckles was a great character, but the refresh they gave him in the movies made me really like his character even more. I definitely won't be complaining about having more of a movie Knuckles. And within these fun times, I'm sure we'll learn more about Knuckles' past. Maybe through stories he'll tell, or even through flashback sequences of him trying to remember everything that happened in the past. But considering not even Knuckles himself knows what happened to the Echidnas, I doubt we'll get much of an Echidna lore drop. We'll definitely have to wait and see on that. But I'm very intrigued to learn more about the whole plot of Knuckles training Wade. Maybe it's like an agreement type of deal where Knuckles thinks Wade is like this really cool person who just happens to know a lot about Earth, and Knuckles promises to train him to be an Echidna warrior in exchange for information or whatever. But because Wade also isn't the brightest, this could lead to them getting into trouble with the wrong kind of people. This is just pure speculation. So I don't know. And if you think about it, it kind of in a way is like the Chaotix in a sense. If we took what the Chaotix were known for, that being detectives, and detectives are part of the police force even though Wade is a sheriff, you get what I mean. Though, however, if you really want to bring the Chaotix into the mix of live action, honestly Vector, SBO, and Charmy working alongside Wade could make for some really funny moments. Just an idea.
It ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or...
We also know that the series is going to be 6 episodes long, which is perfect. Not too long, not too short, an entire list of episode names alongside a storyboard animatic had leaked, But out of respect to just keeping myself spoiler-free and you spoiler-free, I won't speak much on this. But the amount of episodes is a good number. I'm glad it's not going to overstay its welcome and that they're not going to try and run it into the ground for what it is. A simple story from start to end with some filler in between, but still straight to the point, which is what I like. I also like that it's evenly spaced out between the second and third movie, being this kind of in-between thing that will serve as a way to keep people entertained and not feel burnt out by the time the third movie comes out all the way in December. The casting is also very interesting as we don't know who is playing who all that much just yet. But we know big names like Christopher Lloyd and even Kid Cudi is expected to make appearances in the show. So I'm very curious about those roles alone and if these appearances and roles will be tied to the future of the movie as a spin-off and other spin-off shows. It'd be great to see them as recurring characters in this universe.
Well, unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath, first test, feel the right, then the
What I expect out of the series isn't anything too much, honestly, just a nice, fulfilling story that may try to expand more on Knuckles' past, as well as let him learn more of his own abilities, and on the side, help grow Wade more as a character for the movies, which is already a plus for me. I love the human characters, and I'm glad Wade is getting some kind of spotlight here. Only makes me want to see Agent Stone get some more love. As I said, the Knuckles show kind of paves the way in terms of spin-offs for the movies. Most will likely come out as a show for Paramount Plus, or maybe even a standalone movie. We've yet to see it, but we can probably expect majority of them being a show that would consist of being around the same amount of episodes, unless it's like a really important character that they're really trying to focus on. I don't see much of the spin-offs lasting too long or being too short. I'm sure that sentence will age like a fine soured milk left in the fridge, but I digress. It has me most certainly excited for the future of the movie franchise.
words left. Born on an island in the
Last but not least, we finally have the date for when the trailer for the Knuckles show debuts, and that's on February 11th during the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts on the Knuckles show? Do you feel like it'll be good? Do you think it'll be bad? What would you change if you could change it, and why? Let me know in the comments. Next time you hear from me, we'll be taking a trip to the past and going over the history of Project Shadow. Such a cool project that was.
heavens. The blood of my ancestors flows inside me. My duty is to save the flower from evil deterioration. Yeah. I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself of them evil spirits that's in you.